I want to bring up Matt Drew with Orsted. We all know that offshore wind has been a popular and controversial topic, especially in our resort areas. Those of you who have visited Garrett County, Maryland, and some of the resort communities in western PA and West Virginia, you've already seen the wind turbines on some of the ridge tops, and those communities out there have seemed to have adapted to that. But Matt's going to give us an update on where we are with offshore wind and what Ørsted's role in this has and will be as we move forward. Matt.
Thanks, Bill.
Anyone you want.
Great. Bill, thanks so much for that introduction. As Bill mentioned, my name is Matt Drew. I'm the Onshore Construction Manager for Ørsted. But I've been very involved in the offshore wind industry. I actually had the opportunity to address this group in 2018 to talk about the opportunities for offshore wind for Maryland businesses, and I'm proud to say that I'll be able to continue that in my work here with Orsted and share some of those opportunities with you again today. So a little bit about our company. We are a company based in Denmark. We have a 25 plus year track record in constructing offshore wind facilities. We built the first offshore wind facility in Denmark in 1991 and actually went through a decommissioning process of that same wind farm about 2 years ago. So I think that's reflective of our business philosophy, where we don't just simply develop a wind farm and then walk away from it. We take an end-to-end approach where we want to be involved in all aspects, not just the planning and construction, but the operations and maintenance and production of energy throughout the lifetime of the asset. So we were also proud to be the owner of the first offshore wind farm here in the United States. It's a 30 megawatt farm off of the coast of Block Island in Rhode Island. And then we built the world's largest offshore wind farm just off of the coast of the UK, 1,200 megawatts in 2020. So about 1 out of every 4 offshore wind turbines across the entire globe is an Ørsted wind turbine. We are by far the largest developer of wind turbines. We have over 15,000 wind turbines in operation today. Excuse me. This is a little bit about the market that's in place for the U.S. We've got multiple states that all have offerings and aspirations to either immediately purchase or in the near-term future purchase their power from offshore wind. Two to highlight are the state of Maryland. Currently we have 2 projects. One I'll talk about today, our project, and then there's a second project in Maryland for a total of 348 megawatts of power. But Maryland has a goal of purchasing an additional 1,200 megawatts of power over the next 3 years. And the other state to focus on are our colleagues to the south in Virginia. Much higher aspiration. They only have 12 megawatts in existence today. It's actually an Orsted project that was built and commissioned last year in the middle of COVID, a 2-turbine demonstration project off of Virginia Beach. But you can see that their aspirations are to bring another 5,000 megawatts in, so rivaling that of New York and New Jersey's aspirations. Some of the fundamentals about why offshore wind is such a great fit for the east coast of the U.S. We have within 30 miles of our coastline, we have about 80% of the high electrical users in this area. You see the slide on the left that shows what the lights look like at nighttime. So there's quite a bit of electrical demand in this area. We have great wind resources, as everybody who lives here in this coastal area like me knows. And then we also have a relatively shallow continental shelf that coincides with those wind areas, so it makes it relatively efficient and easy to build offshore wind farms. Here in North America, Ørsted, our company, has, as I mentioned, 2 projects completed, 5 that are in the awarded and development phases, and 2 future projects that we're looking at. The one I want to chat with you about today is the Skipjack wind farm, so the one that you see just off of the coast of the Delmarva Peninsula. The Skipjack wind farm is going to be approximately 20 miles off of the coast of Delaware. In 2017, there was an award by the Maryland Public Service Commission to Skipjack of offshore renewable energy credits. That's what the OREC abbreviation that you see in the slide stands for 120 megawatts of power. That will provide power for about 35,000 homes here on the Delmarva Peninsula. We are at those who have lived on the peninsula long enough, like me, know that we are not a net exporter by any stretch of the imagination of power. We actually have to import about 30% of the power that we need here. I remember back in the early 90s, I was an engineer working in a manufacturing plant. There was a substation outage in northern Delaware, and it took the peninsula down for about a week and a half. And all that stems from the fact that we just don't simply produce enough power here on the eastern shore. So this will help. It certainly won't remove that deficit, but this project will certainly go to move that in the right direction. And our expectation is that we want to be in commercial operation by the second half of 2026. Going back to, I mentioned that I got to address this group in 2018, and the things that I shared in 2018 and the fundamentals that are shown on this slide are still the same. This is still the same opportunity that I see for Maryland-based businesses. Skipjack has agreed to purchase 34% of all of the goods and services through the development and construction phase from Maryland-based businesses. So 34% equates to about a $210 million opportunity for Maryland-based businesses to do business with us, because we need to have as much local participation as we can in our project to meet that goal. We've committed that to the Public Service Commission in our OREC award, so we want to do as much as we can to bring local businesses into to our project. We also have agreed to bring 1,400 full-time employees that are Maryland-based employees in through those 2 development and construction phases of our project. We've committed to a $38 million investment in the state of Maryland. 13 of that we've already made through investments at Trade Point Atlantic. This is the former Sparrows Point Bethlehem Steel facility in Baltimore, making improvements to their port facilities to handle the heavy lift cargo that we're going to be bringing into that port. And then we've also have a future aspiration in the near term of investing $25 million in a Maryland-based steel fabrication facility. So again, this goes to a theme that was running through the Public Service Commission's aspirations in giving us this award, that we don't just simply want to buy renewable energy from a renewable energy developer like Orsted. We want to create a supply chain that's based in Maryland, so that even when the Orsted project is finished, the supply chain can continue to have economic development and local jobs that can serve the offshore wind industry. One other thing I'm excited to talk about here as we stand here today is that our operations and maintenance facility, after the wind farm is built, will be located right here in Ocean City, Maryland. So this will be, if the development and construction economic impact is a short-term duration just for the life of the build of the project, this is a long-term impact. These are jobs that will be associated with maintaining the uptime of the turbines through physically going out to the wind farm on a daily basis, or by having readily available supply parts, and then all the support services that can come along with that. That's going to be located right here in Ocean City, Maryland, and that economic benefit will last for the 25 plus years of the offshore wind project. So that's an exciting thing to share, especially as we stand here today in Ocean City. We're excited to talk about our partnership with local non-governmental organizations like the Center for Inland Bays. And then we've also done a lot of work with support of local businesses already. I mentioned one here of Archon Training in Salisbury is going to be providing the specialized GWO training that we need for any of our employees who are going to be working offshore. We've also collaborated with companies like Crystal Steel, and we've gotten to talk to the folks at Patriot just outside of Cambridge about how they can participate in the supply chain. So already we're starting to see some traction in terms of local businesses getting involved. Quick slide here. This is the wind turbine that we plan to use. It's a 12 megawatt GE Haliade X wind turbine. This is actually a brand new series of turbines that's just become available. The first Model 1 finished its acceptance testing in Rotterdam approximately 3.5 months ago. So this is now sitting on the shelf ready for us to use. We're excited to use this because our original plans were actually to use a smaller turbine, but by using this turbine, it allows us to reduce the number of turbines required to produce the same power, and therefore we can reduce the overall impact of our project in the water. One of the most important things for us is that we want to take opportunities like this here today to engage with the local community, be it the business community here, community groups, the commercial fishing community, local NGOs, research and development, and then academic institutions. We see this as a collaboration. Our experience in Europe as a company is that you simply can't come into a community and demand the right to put in an offshore wind farm. You have to work in collaboration with the community. We think that's really important. I'm pleased to and like to introduce my colleague Megan Outen, who's sitting at the table with me. Megan's our outreach stakeholder coordinator. Megan lives in Salisbury, Maryland, where I live as well, and we're certainly available. Time is kind of compressed here today, so we may not have time for questions, but we're available and would like to chat as much as we can after the presentation. So, lastly, we have been we're honored to be ranked the most sustainable company in the world by the Corporate Knights Group, and then actually we didn't make it to the slide, but just yesterday we had an exciting announcement by Time Magazine that we were named one of the 100 most innovative companies in the world. So we're pleased for those recognitions, and we want to try to keep working hard to maintain that. So. That's my presentation. I am, like Susan, incredibly cognizant of the lunch hour, so I will take any questions if there's time, but if there's not time, be happy to talk with anybody afterwards. So thank you very much.